What's up, CAFit? This is Anthony Campo coming to you with CAFit Videocast Episode 8. I'm here with Vutrong.
How you guys doing?
All right, so let's get on to our agenda for today. All right, first, what is CAFit? All right, so CAFit is a training and method philosophy used for functional fitness to train, basically using functional fitness to train for lifestyle sports. Surfing, snowboarding, what your California Fit lifestyle is, what that California lifestyle is. So instead of just going in the gym and working on cables, we like to blend what we know with energy systems and strength training and teach you how to blend that with how to train for your sport. So today we're going to be talking about a lifestyle sport, which is running. So we'll move on to that. All right, first, who are we? I'm Anthony Campo, Program Director at CAFit. My education, I have a bachelor's in Leadership and Organizational Studies from Chapman University. CrossFit Level 1 certified, a few others, and I have my OPEX CCP Level 1. Still need to finish up my case study. Just sent that in today. I've been involved in fitness since 2000. And I'm here with Vutrong, strength coach at CAFit and CrossFit coach.
All right, guys, how you doing? So I got my CrossFit Level 1 certification back in 2011. Currently a nationally ranked weightlifter and hoping to get back to the competition stage soon. Looking at to be in the top session of my new weight class this summer. Then on that, I have 5 years of naval and combat medicine, where I've mostly focused with sports and trauma injuries. So I had a lot of knowledge about anatomy and physiology and sports medicine. All right.
So the purpose of this is to educate the audience and also go behind the scenes, what's going on in our coach's mind, so you can have an experience, of being bought into what it is. When you're given the why, a lot of times it's easier to be more inspired and enthusiastic in what we do.
Exactly, and on top of that, since we were thinking about education, so we'll help you filter out what is the right information out there, because there are a lot of bloggers, there are a lot of people posting all over Facebook, Instagram about fitness, and 80% of that may not be applicable to you.
Yeah,
So,
some of you might be looking at magazines and different things, and most people want to put out content. So we want you to get the proper education and write content.
all right. So for today, we'll start out like always with a positive focus of what's been good with our week, what we're excited about, what we're happy about. So to start, we always start out with that just to get our mind right, and it's a good trick. You should try that. And next is we're gonna talk about a program for function and fitness coming up in next week. Like Anthony already said, topic of the day, we're gonna discuss about how not to train for your first half marathon. If you're thinking about doing the Surf City Marathon, Surf City Half, or any other halves or full marathon coming up, and finally we'll close out with the announcements with all the events that's coming up next week. Next few weeks.
All right, positive focus. For me this week, a guy spent last week migrating all our content to CAFitUSA.com. It's almost ready to go. We're gonna migrate emails, do that stuff. A few little settings to turn on, and then we just gotta flip the switch. So, in the future, you'll be bookmarking CAFitUSA.com. But also, if you do go to CrossFitSurfCityUSA.com, it'll be redirected to CAFitUSA.com. So I'm excited. I'm going to be making the switch over. I've got some coaches' shirts on the way, things like that. Good stuff like that. Making moves.
Nice. We get to see the I guess the prototype of the new shirts. They look great. They look really good. On my end, well, my team advanced to the next stage. New England Patriots. Go Pats.
Yeah, I think FanDuel is going to be easier to pick this week than it is any other week.
Yeah, we play FanDuel.
All right. All right, next week's program for function. We're finishing off testing. We just have to finish off our physical testing. To dictate the priority. We like Monday. We're going to be building up to a one-arm deadlift so that we could finish off. So we can compare that to the back squat, which we tested a couple weeks ago. And then same thing with the one-arm pull-up, rear elevated split squat, and weighted dips. So you're going to have that strength test each day, but then a capacity test after that. And these, just little different pieces. With the Diane, it's short, fast. For the advanced, it shouldn't be very heavy, so you can turn over a relatively heavy load compared to most body weight pretty quickly, and then handstand push-ups. So classic benchmark CrossFit workout, and then we have an open workout from last year just to see. Sorry, my bad. This is just a little aerobic test that we can get a 2K row test and max double unders. So we have a little bit of skill, but if during this workout, you've got the skill and you've got a high breathing. So how well do you manage that? Right. And it's a little aerobic test that I always give during testing, and then a little bit of a lactate tester on Thursday. So there's a couple ways we could go about doing this lactate test. There's a couple of versions of it. This is just the one-time through version. So you need to go out and leave it all out there.
It's like Fran. It should feel like Fran.
Yeah, but it should be about between 3 and 4 minutes. The kettlebell swings for advanced for men is 2 pood and 1.5 pood for women. So there's nothing you should leave on the table. You should basically fall off that last row and be laying there for, couple, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not going to feel comfortable after, even if after you're done.
Yeah. And then the other one, just another little bit of, this is aerobic in the sense of, really how you're going to approach it. It should be, real cyclical where you're not really breaking up the movements very much. It's continuous thrusters, pull-ups,
More rhythm to it. There's more like a rhythm.
So that's for that week. That's for function. Again, the way our assessment works, we have levels 1 through 5 of double leg, single leg, upper body pulling, upper body pushing, core, and bending. So one arm deadlift has to do with the core, bending, weighted pull up has to do with the upper body pull, rear elevated split squat has to do with single leg. And quick thing on this, this needs your ultimate goal on this is 8 reps with 33% in each hand.
With a tempo of 3 seconds down.
Correct. And then weighted dips is upper body pushing.
Right on.
All right, fitness. Now, there's some tests that cross over, but this is, we're getting the back squat test and then the one time at 85%. So what we're trying to look for after we max back squat is we're looking for the neuromuscular efficiency of that person. And depending on how many reps that person gets, it kind of gives us an idea of where they're at with neuromuscular efficiency and stuff.
Now, what is the neuromuscular efficiency? Just kind of explain that a little bit.
It's your body's, your nervous system's ability to communicate with your muscles.
Right.
Basically, the more neuromuscular efficient you are, the more you can motor units you can recruit. So, if you're trained and you've been lifting for a while, you can dig down deeper and pull more out of yourself. So this needs to be at a 30x1 tempo. Okay, so 3 seconds down, 0 seconds at the bottom, fire up, 1 second pause at the top, and needs to be continuous. So if you pause at 3 seconds at the top or anything like that, you're done. So you just need to continuously go on that one. And then we're looking at, how well can you do double unders? Give you a couple attempts, and then AMRAP strict pull-ups. We always want to see where that is versus kipping pull-ups and all that. And then Tuesday,
this is a game, CrossFit Games Open from last year. This is 14.4 from last year. 14-minute AMRAP, 60 calorie row, 50 toes to bars, 40 wall balls. 20 pound for men, 14 for the ladies to the 10-foot target, and then 30 cleans, 135 pounds, and 20 muscle ups. So basically, you're gonna get as far as you can in this, and it's just a fun little test. Since the open season is coming, we want to see how you stack up. If you improve since the last open season.
Yeah. So this is mainly for comparison against. What is elite? There's a lot of data out there for what's elite, advanced, and not. Same thing with Amanda and Helen to see what in comparison to all that. So.
All right. Moving on to.
What was that, Vu?
All right. So moving on to our topic of the week, it is how not to train for your first half marathon.
You don't want to end up like this guy.
Yeah. Well, at the end, he may be like that guy. All right. So here are a few pointers that you can take a look at. You see that cat right there is a big no-no.
Is that Grumpy Cat?
That is Grumpy Cat.
Oh, Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat.
Big thing about Grumpy Cat, I heard they made lots of money off Grumpy Cat.
Yeah,
hundreds of millions of dollars. Crazy.
Just the face of the cat. Wow.
All right. Enough of that, though.
So the first point we should not do is increase mileage every day. Meaning, day 1 you run 1 mile, day 2 you do 2 miles, all the way up until you can finish that half marathon without being at the half marathon itself. And then increase mileage too quickly. So you went from 1 mile to 2 miles the next day, and so on and so forth, without any prior training before. Train every day, no recovery. If you don't rest, that your body cannot recuperate, and you're always gonna be sore. You're always gonna be injury prone. Don't include interval training. So all you do is steady state. You keep your speed always at 10-minute mile, and you do that for every mile. No speed training, no interval training. You don't include variable distance and intensities. So you don't vary your heart rate at all. So you just keep one speed at one distance. All right, and you don't lift weight. You don't do any resistance training. What this does is that it's not gonna build the muscles necessary to protect your posture, to protect your joints. So you get shin splints, you get knee pains. Those are the reason why you don't have enough muscles to protect those. A lot of pounding on those joints. You don't pay attention to proper nutrition and supplementation. A lot of runners think that that this is from my experience from talking to a few runners. They kind of eat a little too much carbs, or they did a lot of sugar because they think that they burn so many calories, and they don't pay attention to the inflammation all these carbs and all these grains are causing the joints. So that's why they continuously being sore and all that. All right, supplementation. They neglect fish oil, they neglect vitamin D's, and finally neglecting mobility and flexibility. Pull calf muscle, you pull your hammies, things like that happen because runners don't stretch. All right. So how do we properly train?
All right. A couple of things to think of. Well, you always need a plan. You can seek out a coach to make a plan. I see a lot of times, a lot of people are their own fitness consultants via say, kind of say that is that, they're like, well, my fitness I'm going to go accomplish this goal. So I'm going to go to this class on Monday, do this class on Tuesday. I'm going to run. I'm going to do this. And they don't they don't take into consideration or know how to blend that all together
Right.
to get the maximum, be the most efficient. So they're not putting out all this time, um, and then also preventing injury, and then the enjoyment piece of it too.
Right.
One thing you can do is find an online program that's reputable. So there's membership sites, programs out there that have to do with running and things like that, um, and they can help you out a lot. But just have to make sure you got the right one. But the thing is that they are generalized, so they're not going to take into consideration your specific needs. I just was doing a little analysis, kind of like a case study today on patella tendonitis. Okay, and this is common in runners, and it's not just, oh, I have patella tendonitis and that's it. Like, and there's a specific fix, but depending on where your pain is, you have to identify what the fix is. If you have medial high pain or center pain in the patella, or pain on the outer portion of the patella. So there's all these different things to consider. So there's different prescriptions for different people.
Right. Or make sure your training plan isn't just straight running. So if running is the only thing that prescribed, that program may not be looking at a whole picture. They're missing a piece, right? So you want to make sure your training includes some kind of resistant training, whether it's body weight or weight training. Okay, it's just now these obviously, if you want to be a runner, most runners are lean and they don't carry an excessive muscle mass. However, these weight training are not meant to put on muscle mass. You should look at the weight training that are there to maintain muscle mass, so those muscles can protect your joints. And then finally, you want to make sure your training programs has various intensity. So there are days you're going to be working on your speed, and there'll be days you're working on your aerobic, meaning your breathing, and the days you just doing a long run, recovery run type of stuff.
Absolutely. And if your training plan is only running, I know a lot of runners that have knee replacements, hips, they're all messed up, and they're later on in life they're not able to stay active, and they have all these ailments, and it's because they didn't work on that resistance training, that weight training, making sure they're stronger. And great, you could run 26.2, but can you do a pull up or a push up? You can run a half marathon, but can you do a push up? No. What's the point if you don't have that basic? That's fundamental strength. That's just basic functional strength.
Right. Well, secondly, another piece of the puzzle is pay attention to your recovery. Recovery, we're talking multiple angles. First, identify proper nutrition. You heard, or I've heard a lot of runners talking about carb load. There is a very specific way for a specific individual to carb load. So if you're taking someone else's way to carb load, it may not work for you. It may work against you. Too much sugar, too much junk is gonna cause a whole host of inflammation. On top of that, you're gonna come, your blood sugar is gonna be spiking and crashing throughout different time of the day. You're not gonna have enough energy, not only for your training but your daily activities, right? And then you want to minimize your inflammation or the inflammation with proper nutrition. So meaning, you're trying to, if you're gonna need to carb load, make sure your carb load is as simple as it can get. So no gluten, no anything that's gonna cause you inflammation, right? And these things such as white rice would work, sweet potatoes, anything, Anthony?
Just making sure that it's proper timing of your nutrition, your carbohydrates, proteins, things like that.
Right, and make sure you take your rest days. There's no way around it. If you ever look into how Olympic athletes and professional athletes train, they take the rest days just as serious as their training days. They're not allowed to party. They're not allowed to do anything that would inhibit them from recovering for the next training. All right, and finally, make sure you stretch and mobilize so that you can prevent your joints and your muscles from being injured.
All right, here's a example of a program. So this program has Sunday at the start of the week, so your off day. Um, you know, you have a little bit of like a body weight, mixed modality type of thing, walking lunges, push-ups, bent over row, and then you'd rest as needed, in between exercises. A little bit of core work, things like that. And then you have multiple sets and be repeat 6 times. Um, and the lunges are really good for especially if you're running a lot. You're basically your hip flexion and hip extension doesn't go through like a full range of motion very often. So, and that could cause that patella tendonitis. So, by doing like a walking lunge or air squats or doing those type of movements, it'll help you out throughout the week. I mean, help you prevent injury and keep those joints healthy.
Right, and then Tuesday you got a 5K run time trial. So 5K run just to establish your pace. Not nothing too what's the word? Nothing too hard. You're not racing yet, so it's just a little bit of time trial. On Wednesday, another off day, and then on Thursday, you have a little bit of interval training. You start out warming up with a 5-minute run, nice and easy. Walk 3 minutes, and then followed by 6 sets of run 3 minutes at a faster pace. Then walk 2 minutes. As you see, this is an interval type training, working on getting your breathing at a little bit higher level, but being able to repeat the effort. On Friday, a little bit of Tabata a little bit of higher intensity even. However, this is gonna be with some body weight training. So Tabata sit-ups, Tabata squats, and Tabata push-ups with 3 minutes rest in between. So as you see, this program has some body weight training in here just to maintain that like Anthony said, maintain that base level of strength. Then on Saturday is an active recovery day, just a 30-minute nice and easy run.
Yeah, there's a number of ways to do it. Other examples would have a strength training day in it. You know, I trained someone for Endeavor for a few years, and I put in a lot of like higher rep deadlift movements because great posterior chain for having endurance and keeping that because one of the things you consider is that you're going to be up in that position for a long period, standing position, having that back being held up, so you need some endurance in the erectors and the back and everything else, and then also mixing in starting off with like a 5-minute run and then a rest, and then you can put like an example of Monday, a shorter version of that for another 5 minutes, and then alternate between like a run, rest, like a little mixed modality workout, meaning like gymnastics and weightlifting, and then go back to a run. And there's a number of different ways you can do it. This is a small example.
All right, finally, we're gonna close out with our announcements. Please enter all your test score into our comment box on our website and our Facebook page. These are really important to us. These data is going to help us dictate what your program will look like moving forward. And Fit for Life Nutrition Challenge will start on January 17th. And make sure you lock your score in and make sure you get your measurement done on January 17th. If not, just let one of us know. We can schedule you a different time slot. Also, Cooking Kilos will be at this event, and they can tell you more about the Cooking Kilos.
Cooking Kilos is a meal prep service. Basically, they make you like a packaged meals in plastic containers for the week. and it's all good stuff in there, and yeah, it's very very convenient, and good that way.
Worth check it out. All right. All right, guys. If you have any questions or any topic suggestion, please leave in the comments below or fill out our survey. That'll help us a whole lot.
Absolutely. You're going to get an email after this asking you to fill out some questions and things like that. There's only 5 questions. So just fill them out for us. Give us some ideas, topics, any other things you'd like to say. And we appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.